Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for June the 3rd, 2010. Our first position for tonight is going to be again in natural gas futures contracts. As you know, we've been trading this one over the last intermittently over the last couple of weeks. I still see some potential here. What we have is a fresh crossover on the triple EMA crossover from Vantage Point. Everything looks good here, so let's identify key levels of pivot support. 421, 426, and 434 with a close of 442. Now what we have here is we have the predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point has crossed over to the upside again. That looks good. Predicted MACD has also crossed over. A bit of a concern here that it's starting to move a little bit into that overbought territory, but not yet. We have plenty of room for this to extend. This looks like a trending move to me. Our predicted medium and long-term differences both sitting pretty good. So let's go in now and have a look at the daily report from Vantage Point and see if we can fine-tune this entry point for tomorrow. Now again, we want to get in, we strictly want to buy this. We do not want to sell this. So let's see what we've got here in the daily report. Okay, having a look at this, we've got 432 and 451 with the neural index pointing up. We can see that our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences are all positive. Medium terms a little bit on the overbought side, but everything still looks okay. So for tomorrow, we're going to be looking to again get into buy positions, but we're going to let it pull back a little bit further than 432. I think we're going to see this 426 area. That's my prediction. However, the Vantage Point 3-day predicted moving average is sitting at 434, so it's very possible. So to help narrow this down, our entry point is going to be between that 434 and 426 area. All stops are going to be below the $4 level on this particular commodities, because again, we don't want to get caught in this intraday stuff. We want to make sure we've got a fresh trend developing in natural gas. This minor dip we had last week, everything still looks good here. I've been long natural gas contracts actually for several weeks now. I did have to suffer through some volatility, but we can definitely see a base forming here at this $4 range. Now this is the reason why I'm suggesting we should have our stops well below this $4 level, because we have two good strong levels of support here. These two candlesticks have come down, hit this level, and bounced off of it. So we're going to stick with that. That's our position. And again, stops will be, I would say, to be safe, about 380 should be good. Now with that said, we're going to change gears here somewhat, and we're going to go into the softs. Now, looking at the softs, right now I'm keeping a very close eye on coffee contracts. What we can see is that we have a fresh crossover on this triple EMA crossover from Vantage Point. We've got this long red candlestick here coming down after this very long upward green candlestick. However, I think we have some very good opportunity. Again, the predicted long-term difference is just going over this zero line. Predicted medium-term difference is clearly overbought, which is fine. The long term is showing a good buy signal here. Again, predicted MACD also showing that we've got this fresh crossover from coming in the somewhat oversold territory, crossing to the upside, another good indicator. Predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point, a little bit mixed, but it's above the zero line. So we're going to stick with the triple EMA and look to get into buy contracts again on the coffee. So our key levels of pivot support, 134.31, 134.67, and 135.50 with a close of 135.40. Now that we've identified our key levels of pivot support, we can now go into our daily report, and again, we want to fine-tune this entry point to try and get the best possible entry we can. So we have the neural index pointing down. We can, as I've stated, that the medium-term differences are somewhat overbought. 163, we can see that. However, on the predicted short-term differences and the long-term differences, they are not overbought. That's what we're looking for. So 134.11 tomorrow on the coffee contracts, that's what we're looking for as an entry price. We should get very close to that. Again, now with a position like this, we've identified our entry point in this 134.11 area. Now 134.31 is the 18-day predicted moving average. So we like to have a bit of a range here for our entry point. So our entry point here is going to be between 134.31 and 134.11. Our stops would then be about the 133.50 area. That should keep us out of that broker radar, and that should allow that long trade to develop. So that's our second position for tonight. Now we're going to try and get one more position here, and we're going to go into the foreign exchange market. Now in the foreign exchange market, we're going to be again looking at this British pound US dollar. Now we had a nice trade here today on this. It in the latter part of the North American session, it actually did pull back to our entry point in this 145.54 level. Nice move there, and then we've closed the day at 146.54. So hopefully anybody that was watching the live pre-market webinar here this morning, on Wednesday on the 2nd, we got into that trade on live conditions about the just above the 146 level. Myself, I have a position at the 146.12 area and the 145.62 area, as I waited very patiently for it to pull back to that area. Now with that close of 146.54, excuse me, we want to identify some key levels here: 146.20, 145.51, and 146.11. We have a very mixed bag here, absolutely. However, our predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point has made its crossover to the upside. Predicted MACD also crossed over to the upside. Predicted medium and long-term differences are not in overbought territory yet. So with that said, let's go into that daily report. Again, the daily report from Vantage Point. This is why I like this product so much, because it's got a very nice clean report here that I can read each day and see what's actually happening. So we're sitting here with the neural index up. We've got 147.50 as the high, 145.62 is the low. Predicted short, medium, and long-term differences are all positive. So we're going to try and stay with this, what may be a corrective move higher. Now we've got with this week, just to clarify, 145.70 is going to be our entry point for tomorrow. Now we have the ADP report tomorrow. We have the non-farm payrolls tomorrow. Bit of a concern here is that, on a side note, I was actually watching President Obama speaking today, and clearly he said that the employment number is going to be an excellent number on Friday. That's about as close to insider trading as I think we can get here, guys. So that's a bit of a concern on pound dollar, because it looks to me like the US dollar may be able to maybe moving towards a bout of strength based on the fact that everybody anticipates a very strong payroll number. Now usually what we have happen before that payroll number comes out, we get position adjustments because the market's very mixed on what they actually think. So for now, we're going to stick with that 145.70. We're going to be looking for a move towards that predicted high from Vantage Point. And again, it appears that we have a good trending move happening. We've got the 3-day crossing over the 8-day and the 18-day. So for now, we're going to anticipate, we're definitely going to anticipate a pullback here. And when it does, we're going to use that to get into our buy positions. So again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for June the 3rd, 2010.